Back to Matt Patrick.
Have you apologized to the family of Brian Terry?
I have not apologized to them, but I certainly regret what happened.
Have you even talked to them?
I have not.
Would you like to apologize today for this program that went so wrong that took the life of a United States law enforcement agent?
KTRH News Time is 7:47. Joining me right now, my new hero. Well, he's always been my hero, but I got to tell you, I now have pictures with candles burning. Texas Senator John Cornyn. Senator, I was on Fox Business last night from Houston with Lou Dobbs. You were the topic of conversation, and the way you took Holder to the woodshed, I got to tell you, I stood up and applauded the questions that you had. Tell me what you saw from where you were sitting. You call him out on whether or not he actually understands the difference between Operation Wide Receiver and Operation Fast and Furious. I didn't get the impression he did understand the difference.
Well, Matt, that's when I asked him whether he really knew what he was talking about or he was just winging it.
Right.
Appears to me he's kind of just been winging it throughout all of this controversy and stonewalling Congress and our constitutional duties to provide oversight for departments like the Department of Justice. I've unfortunately led to the conclusion at this point that he either knew and is intentionally misleading Congress, or he didn't know and he should have, and that he's not competent to lead this very important law enforcement agency. You,
right now, Senator Cornyn, are being hailed as the first person, and certainly Representative Issa as well, but is certainly in the Senate, you are being held up right now as somebody that has finally held Attorney General Holder's feet to the fire. You have got to feel good about that.
Well, I appreciate that, Matt. I have to give a lot of credit to Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa, who's the ranking Republican on the Judiciary Committee. He's been dogged, as has Darrell Issa, in trying to pull the facts out of the Department of Justice and the Attorney General. And indeed, it took some whistleblowers to come testify in front of Darrell Issa's committee in the House before the Attorney General would actually acknowledge he knew about this. Of course, yesterday he backtracked on when he knew, and in fact he refused to apologize not only for this program that went so wrong and ended up in the death of Brian Terry, a heroic Border Patrol agent, but he refused to apologize for misleading Congress by a February 4th letter where he said allegations that this gun-running operation occurred were false, only to have in November of 2011, many months later, have Lanny Brewer, the chief of his criminal division, come over and say, you know what, that letter we sent you on February 4th, 2011, saying this wouldn't happen, that's false.
Senator, we always ask our guests to hang on. If you'd be kind enough to hang on for me, I want to talk about
Sure.
Lanny Brewer, and I want to talk about what we do going forward here, especially where the Brian Terry's family is concerned. Senator John Cornyn joining us here this morning.
Your Houston Morning News with Matt Patrick continues.
Very proud to have Senator John Cornyn joining us here this morning. Senator Cornyn, welcome back. Let me read an email I just received during that break. It says, Matt, yesterday I followed the testimony of AG Eric Holder live when Senator Cornyn interrogated him. I was very impressed with Senator Cornyn speaking up and calling out AG Holder to take on his responsibilities. I am proud to have Senator Cornyn as my senator in Texas. Eric Holder has misled, lied to Congress and the public on the Fast and the Furious and doesn't even have the decency to take on his responsibilities. Getting a lot of emails just like that, Senator, and I got to tell you, you really have made us proud here in Texas.
Well, it's very gratifying, Matt. I can assure everyone who was paying attention to what happened yesterday that we're not going to relax. We're going to keep after the Attorney General and get the truth, wherever that may lead.
Why won't he apologize? He told you yesterday he did not apologize to the Terry family. He doesn't seem willing to apologize. He almost doesn't seem willing to admit that he had anything to do with his death.
Well, I think, you just hit on it. I think that an apology would indicate that he had some responsibility in this, and he's unwilling to hold anyone accountable, including himself. And I asked him, I said, name one person who you've held accountable for this, and he refused or could not name a single person. It's just unacceptable.
He's going to throw you a sacrificial lamb. Is it going to be Lanny Brewer?
Well, I think that was what they hoped to do on November the 1st when he came over and testified that the February 4th letter to Senator Grassley saying this program didn't exist, when he told us on November the 1st that February letter was false. But that's not good enough. That's not good enough.
All right. I again cannot express to you enough the gratitude that we have as a nation, that you finally got to the bottom of some things. We saw the Attorney General squirming. It took a senator from Texas, I believe, along with other senators like Senator Grassley and Representative Issa to get this done. And I hope that we will see the results of what you guys have already begun. And I'd like to see this guy step down. I really would.
Thanks, Matt. Good to be with you, and we'll talk again soon.
All right, very good. Texas
Bye-bye.
Senator John Cornyn. This is a guy that I believe, frankly, I would love to see Senator John Cornyn run for president at some point. I really would. I think he's a guy that really gets it. If you watched him yesterday, you had to be proud as a Texan to see what he accomplished.